How the heck are you guys? I'm Fastidious. Welcome to my channel. As you can see, I am not alone today. I'm joined by the fantastic Jake Smash, a brand new creator to me at least. Jake, do you want to introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on, Fastidious. Really appreciate it. Absolutely brand new to content creation here. I've been kicking around the idea basically since the game came out, but didn't really have a good enough reason to throw my hat in the ring until the last few days. So here I am.
Yes, and I'm glad you phrased it that way. So far what you're making, I don't know how it caught my eye, but I'm very impressed, particularly because of what's happened the last few days. So you can see we've pulled up Arena here, we've pulled up the top rankings, and you can see number 2 is Jake himself. This is you, man, right? This is your account?
So close. That's me.
So close, yet even though it's 11 points, so far away, and we're going to get into that very shortly.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
Basically, I've been planning a video ever since the patch went through, the January update, with my thoughts on the new arena. If you guys just saw, I just posted my Lord of Sticks video about how excited I am and how I'm so happy with the devs. Then I was planning this video. I teased it in that video that I'm pretty disappointed with the devs. And once I started chatting with Jake, I think you DM'd me yesterday on Discord because I commented on your YouTube video, it got even worse and worse. So my initial grievances with the new arena have only multiplied. So we're going to hand this over to you very shortly. But without further ado, let me start breaking it down and tell you what my biggest gripe was. I'm going to love to have your perspective as a top player. But for me, I'm pretty infuriated by what's going on here with Apex Overlord. So when I originally saw this, I saw 2,100 points. I said, that's great. That's going to be a lot harder than 1950, but it's still something we can do and aspire towards. It's going to be a challenge for a lot of players. And then we all get one extra ancient summoning crystal, right? We'll get 200 diamonds, whatever. That's like not even 3 summons. But that's what I was excited about. And then I saw top 200. I messaged Bunny. She's the dev content, She's the dev. Oh my God. I'm trying to say dev contact for content creators. And it's okay. She's the dev contact for us content creators, and she got back to me pretty quickly and said, no, you need to get both. You need at least 2,100 points and top 200. And to me, that was like, that's pretty prohibitive. So I'd love your perspective as Mr. 4413.
Yeah, we were chatting about it a little bit earlier, and I think on the competitive side of things, it's really good that there is something that is limiting in order for the people that want to be competitive in an environment like this. However, kind of like we were discussing earlier, Arena as a whole, it needs a lot of work, and there's not a lot of engagement in Arena as a whole, and there needs to be some way to engage a greater majority of the player base other than just the top 200. So whether that's something additional in between Overlord and Apex Overlord, I don't know exactly what it is. Yeah. But there needs to be a way to engage both the competitive player base and the majority.
Exactly. Yeah, there needs to be something aspirational that isn't grinding for 4,400 points. We need some middle ground.
Absolutely.
So I'll throw a couple ideas out there. Rapid fire ideas. Make it top 1,000 or top 500 even, but something that's a little less crazy. Make it no top anything, but just way more points, where's the rankings? Instead of 2,100, make it 2,400. That'll be hard, right? And it can kind of sort itself out. It's not like 3,000 people are getting 2,400 points every week. You could do a middle tier, just like you said. I think those are all good ideas, right?
Yeah, I think any of those could work. And Moonton would really have a better idea based on just, some simple analytics. They can easily pull up where the majority of the player base falls every single week and what the history is. And that would be a good starting point for, which one of those, whether to increase the cap or do an entirely new one.
Whatever it is, there is a solution. And I think at least they made the step by introducing Apex Overlord, but it's nice to get on top of it right away and be like, hey guys, nice try. Let's do a lot better. There's two more specifics we really have to get into. One of them is probably going to be the title of this video. So I'm about to hand it over to you, and that is going to be the bugs. So one, I guess, isn't a bug, and that's going to be how auto battling was working. And one is a completely exploited bug. That's literally how I was introduced to you by YouTube. So you have the floor, my man. Explain this Raid Shadow Legends BS that's going on in our game right now in Watcher of Realms.
Awesome. So what's happening, not exactly sure how it's happening, but at some point, certain players are no longer able to lose points from defense losses. So the guy who's number 1 in the world right now, every single day this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, today, yep, he has hit this cap or bug or whatever it is where even if I attack him, I will gain my points, but he will not lose his. So it has been very, very frustrating. Probably a couple thousand arena points that, should have gone different ways because of hundreds of arena battles. Very, very frustrating. Not sure why it's happening.
So this is the first of 2 horrible issues they have going on. So we started with, I'd say, the more innocent of the 2. The next one's pretty sinister, if I do say so myself. But yeah, so what's going on, guys, just to make it patently clear, what you just explained, Jake, is every time you hit, let's just call him Liu, I'm sure, and I'm not going to try with the Cyrillic, let's just call him Liu. Every time you're hitting Liu, you get points calculated by how much stronger he is than you. So I don't know, what are you getting, 12 points or something like that?
Yeah, it depends on how far ahead of me he is.
But yeah, something like that, and
20 something depending on where he is.
And he's getting no penalty. So if we go to results, I hope I've lost recently. Look, I've lost. So King Kieran beat me, right? And I lost 6 points. So I went down. So what's happening is you've reached some point. Maybe you have a sense of when it happened, but this is how the first video I saw of yours, and then the video I saw today was way crazier. I will have those videos linked in the description in the top pinned comment, guys. You can go check out Jake. But you would hit him and you demoed it. It's great. And you can see your points go up and he stays firm right there. So do you know around when this might have kicked in, or when did you first notice it?
So I first noticed it Tuesday morning. Monday, I was just attacking, farming, using up all of my resources. I had hundreds of arena permits.
You've been stockpiling, right?
Yeah, I've been stockpiling for a long time in order to make a single push. And so I was just going. I wasn't really paying attention to details because I was just trying to push my attacks. And it wasn't until Tuesday, when stuff really started to slow down, that I noticed that it was weird, that his score wasn't moving how it should be. And I started going through the battle history, and I started paying more attention when I was attacking him. And that's when I noticed that I had a string of, I don't know, 11, 12, 13 attacks, something like that, in a span of 2 or 3 minutes apart. I was just refreshing the page and hunting this guy down over and over and over again, trying to get me higher and get him lower at the same time. And I noticed that his score wasn't changing at all. So in theory, on Tuesday, right before the new patch went live, that at that point, it was like, okay, well, maybe, everyone in Arena is still, at that point, everyone in the top was giving 9 or 12 points. So I was like, maybe, he's beating someone and getting 12 points at the same time I'm beating him and getting 12 points. But as I started to pay a little bit more attention to the timing and everything, and it just became very apparent that was not the case. And that's in the few videos that you said you'll share, right?
Yeah, so check that out, guys. So that's how I first saw you. I just saw this video and it caught my eye. And yeah, basically you demonstrate it very clearly. You have a huge log of results, and you can see it's just impossible that you attacked him, whatever it was, 40 times in an hour, and he just somehow, he couldn't be equally pacing every attack, that every time you went to check, he was exactly the same thing. So clearly there was some cap, some amount of times you could be hit, or some number that you do hit, where no longer do you suffer, a deduction in your points. So that's a big issue. So now to the more sinister thing. That's what you posted today. This is bad.
Yes.
This reeks of Raid Shadow Legends, paid Shadow Legends, if you will. You want to get into that?
Yeah, so today, I actually noticed it yesterday. I just couldn't capture any evidence of it yesterday. So in addition to the bug, I noticed that because he could not beat my defense, and I was the only one that could give him more than 1 point, right? So post-patch, the way that points are calculated for wins and losses is dependent on the score of the 2 players that are competing. It is not dependent on your current position in the rankings. It's purely score-based. So him and I are the only 2 players in the world.
The 4-4-2-4. Yeah, that okay.
Absolutely. So him and I are the only 2 players in the world right now that can give each other more than 1 point for anything. So I noticed that he wasn't attacking me because he couldn't beat my defense, but his score was still steadily going up 1 point at a time, over time. And it wasn't until today where I attacked him a bunch in order to get a lead. And then very conveniently, he tried to attack me. He failed. And then at this point, our scores are set where they are. And his score started increasing. So there was a huge jump in about an hour where he went up about 100 points without ever attacking me, the only person that can give him more than a single point.
Yeah, so to make that perfectly clear for anyone that hasn't seen this happen in other games, maybe some people are already connecting the dots. I've been circling this name over here. We're just going to call this guy number 3. But essentially what is going on is because everyone else is so far away from you, your guys are up in the 4,400s, the next closest is 3,300s, and then all below 3,000. If you attack anyone lower than you guys and you defeat them, they're barely rewarding you. They're giving you a single point. The only way he could succeed is by attacking you. He can't beat you. So he found another solution. So we know what that solution is, don't we?
Yes, unfortunately. So if he can't get points from attacking me, and he can't possibly attack 100 people in an hour with 100% win ratio in a game mode where it takes at least a minute and a half to finish a battle, and you have to cycle through pages, and if that is legitimately physically impossible, then the only way to get points then is for people attacking you and losing to you in rapid succession. And then you get 1 point for each time someone loses to you intentionally.
Yep.
Or unintentionally for that matter, but you won't go up that quickly.
Yes.
100 random people will not conveniently attack you in the same time span.
Yeah. So without a doubt, there's calculated collusion going on right now. Like, let's just say for what it is, it's arena boosting. They had a huge scandal of this in Raid Shadow Legends. That's why I keep referencing this game. That would have been about spring 2020. So let's fix the problem, Moonton. It's very obvious these two guys are working together. It's perfectly clear. You can see it through the attempts. This guy got high enough that he could hit Liu as much as possible, and then number 3 keeps hitting him and losing on purpose. And I mean, let's be speculative here. Either they both stockpile diamonds and they're going to take turns doing this. You know, now Liu's going to owe number 3 one next week or in a couple weeks when they're ready to do it again, or he's sending him money to buy diamonds, or maybe even sending him a little extra money to compensate him. That's totally speculative, but without question, we have two people in tandem colluding, and quite frankly, I don't even really fault them. I'm faulting Moonton here. This is something you need to have a measure against. They basically completely hamstrung you in 2 ways. Because you're not willing to go into like totally anti-competitive collusion, and because they're not letting you get more than 1 point at a time, you are completely stuck. And there's nothing you can do, basically, except waste all these diamonds and resources you've been stockpiling for weeks, right?
Very, very frustrating. I'm still going to see if I can pull it out somehow. I'm a competitive person, but if I lose and it's a waste, then it is what it is. It's part of competition.
Well, one thing we can hope, I really hope you win, let's be honest. Everyone light it up in the comments. I think we all hope Jake wins, right? Let's get one for the home team. But what I will say is, even if you do lose, maybe this can be a win. Between all the videos you're putting out, maybe this video, we can get it seen and we can fix this. And Moonton, I'm not really that... let me know what you think. I'm not so angry at them. Could have you seen this coming from other games? I mean, it's obvious you've studied Raid and other gachas. Yeah, you probably should have seen it coming. However, if you nip it in the bud within a week or 2 or 3 weeks, be a lot better than those other games did. So this is another great example. I think Moonton devs, you guys can step up and fix this. But there's a big bug going on, and there's huge collusion and exploitation happening, and it's really not fair, I think, to someone who seems pretty honest like you. I mean, clearly you have prepared your resources, you've stockpiled, and now you finally made your push, and you got slapped straight in the face, huh?
Yeah, but like you said, it's better for the game overall in the future. Moonton, I said this in a video, Moonton has been great so far about listening to the player base, and this is better for the future in order to make it more fair in the future.
Yeah, and what I will say, so like, it's just coincidence I'm balancing this video right after the Zealous video where I was praising them endlessly, and people might feel like, I had a little streak back in October where I criticized them a lot, and then I've kind of been praising them nonstop. That is not because I felt like it was my time to praise them. They've just been on a heater. They've been on one, and they're not right now. This is terrible. They mess with the Zealous. They already fixed that within one Immortal Codex. Hopefully within 1 or 2 weeks they can fix this too. I really hope you pull it off, Jake. Thanks for bringing this to our attention. And yeah, maybe we'll have you on stream for the, I guess I can leak it now. I haven't formally announced it, but I'm doing a marathon stream. Many more details to come. Sunday afternoon Eastern Standard Time all the way to Monday afternoon Eastern Standard Time, 24 hours nonstop. Maybe you'll come on and say hi and we can chat a little more informally. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love that.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing this. I really hope you pull it out. Guys, if you like my stuff, comment, hit that thumbs up button. I strongly suggest you check out Jake's videos. He does an even better job than I think you did right here, sir, of explaining it. I really think this should get attention because it might seem like a niche, like whale or top player problem, but once there's an exploit like this, it only trickles down and it will start affecting everybody. So it's really the definition of like nip it in the bud. Anyway, subscribe, share it with your mother. We'll see you in the next one. Do you want to do like a wave?
Oh, sorry. Where's
Thanks.
my hand in the camera? Oh my gosh, this is so terrible.
No, it's good. It's authentic.
It's up here. I don't even know where my hand is.
I think it's so awesome that you're on selfie cam. No one's doing it. You're doing something that nobody's doing, baby. I love it.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much,
I
man.
attempted to wave, but I can't figure out my phone camera. But thanks for having me on Fastidious. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Fastidious.